Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I am your host Bastion. This is Nintendo News. Let's get to that news. First of all, this is about some of the stuff that came out during that whole Nintendo financial briefing. Basically, we learned all kinds of things about other games, but first of all, what I really wanted to address was what the president of Nintendo had to say about why it is we are not getting the NX this holiday season, which is the most logical time to release it. And it isn't because it's not done, at least that's what he implied. It is simply because he wants to make sure there's enough of a launch lineup for day one of its release, and apparently that's not the case yet, and they don't project that that will be the case by the holiday season, but it will be the case by March. So they're gonna wait to release it in March, which is insane to me because, yeah, we all want a good launch lineup, right? But for their financial purposes, it makes much more sense to release it in the holiday season because that's when people are buying new consoles for their kids for Christmas or for themselves for Christmas. Things like that. It makes no sense to put it out in March. People don't... The market is much more interested in buying a console in the holiday season, so even if there aren't a whole ton of launch games, surely they have something that's ready. So anyways, that's their logic. Can't say I agree with it, but now we know. But something that is coming out this holiday season is Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is something we already guessed, but now we have confirmation that yes, during holiday season for North America, Pokemon Sun and Moon will be coming out in 2016 holiday season. However, the date is slightly different for Europe, and it is late 2016. So what that probably means is, for whatever reason, it's going to take them an extra week or two to localize it, and so it won't be out before Christmas, but likely during the last couple weeks of December. So that's going to be interesting for the Europeans. Sorry guys. We did learn that the two next Nintendo mobile apps are going to be Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem, and supposedly Fire Emblem isn't going to be some weird spin-off, it's just going to be a legit Fire Emblem game, and that those will be coming out fall 2016. So that's going to be awesome that it sounds like they are actually dedicated to putting actual games out instead of just social networking apps, which I don't know about the rest of you, but I've kind of completely lost interest in it at this point. I feel like I've done as much with it as I can do, so I'm looking for actual games for Nintendo's mobile offerings. Next up is something completely different, and it is that, you know, there's this whole movement about people wanting Nintendo to localize Mother 3. And there have been rumors here and there that supposedly it might finally be happening. For those not familiar with Mother 3, it would basically be the sequel to the Super Nintendo game that we know in the North America region as Earthbound. There was a sequel, it came out only in Japan, never over here, because apparently localization was just too difficult for it, but it sounds like maybe it might be happening, and so anyways, there's a movement of people who want it to happen, and they're turning up in the strangest places, for instance, at this WWE tournament. I can't see that there's a whole lot of crossover between WWE fans and Mother 3 fans. I think the Venn diagram of that would be almost two complete circles that aren't even touching, but maybe there is. Maybe this will get Nintendo's attention, probably not. If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. Unfortunately, a sign isn't going to change their mind. And our final story for the day is a video that talks about 5 Mario games that were never released. Now, these are things that we've mostly already heard about. Sports games, there was also a game being developed for the CDI, which basically totally ripped off Super Mario World. And it actually looked, for a CDI game, it actually looks like it could have been okay. But anyways, if you want to watch that video, it's some interesting stuff. There's a link for it down in the description. That's it for this episode of Nintendo News. See ya, guys, tomorrow? No, not tomorrow. The day after tomorrow for more news. Bye, guys.